Hey, friends, I am so excited to share with you some of the good stories, some of the great blessings that have been happening through Not a Needy Person because of your generous donations. I want you to think for a moment about the times when you have been at your lowest, when you've had obstacles and things coming against you that just seemed overwhelming and seemed like there was no way out of the situation. In those times, when God comes through, in ways you never expected and from sources that you never would have dreamed would come to your aid. That is a pivotal turning point for you in your faith. It helps you understand God is able to do exceedingly abundantly beyond all we ask or think or even imagine, as the book of Ephesians says in chapter 3. And that to me is what many of these Not a Needy Person stories represent. They represent pivotal moments in the lives of people who have submitted their need to Not a Needy Person, just prayerfully hoping that something could happen to help them in their situation. And many times the generosity that flows out of donors to meet these needs becomes a turning point for those people. It draws them more deeply into their faith. It encourages them that God is real, that He's powerful, and that He is for them. And that's what Not a Needy Person is all about. I want to read to you first an email that came from someone who had put in a need request on behalf of her sister, who was going through some surgeries and was trying to get custody of her kids after a very difficult situation with her children. And here's what it says. It says, "Good morning. I wanted to give you an update on my sister. She was not able to get her surgeries in December due to having high blood pressure. However, I believe that will no longer be a factor going forward. As you know, her divorce was finalized in October last year, and now, as of last Friday, her custody case has been finalized as well in her favor. She has joint custody of all 3 children, and she's the primary residential parent. We are so happy that this part is finally over, and that she and the children can continue to go about their days joyful and content. And I would like to thank you again for helping my sister when she was at her lowest. Y'all are truly blessing people with the ministry and the nonprofit organization. God bless you and your families." Now, friends, I don't read these to you to pat myself or the Not a Needy Person team on the back. I read these to you to let you know what generosity does in the hearts of people. I want you to feel the dramatic change it is in their lives because someone from across the world who doesn't even know them cared enough to generously give and help them meet their need. Let's listen to another. This one is from a brother in Africa named Frank, who's given us permission to use his story. And Frank says, "I received the sum of $900 today. Thank you for this love you have shown to me and my family. I'm grateful to God for showing me so much mercy. He saw my pain and worries and answered my cries for help. I've paid off part of my debt with this, and I will pay more. I am grateful to you for allowing God's love and grace to flow through you. Right now, I'm relieved, and I feel free and feel light and happy. My prayer for you is that God will continue to bless and keep you. May His face continue to shine on you. I pray that God will meet your needs and the needs of your family as you put smiles on the faces of the needy. May He continue to sustain Not a Needy Person as an organization, knowing the number of needy people you have to attend to. We will surely meet in heaven. Then I will have the opportunity to give you a big hug and embrace. You have taught me that true Christianity is achievable and practicable. You guys came into my life when there was no one to help. God cares, and He answers prayers. This I know for sure." Friends, that testimony from Frank just cuts me to the core every time, because what Frank experienced is what we've been praying people would experience. Did you catch that phrase where he says, "You've taught me that true Christianity is achievable and practical"? Friends, that is what these massive gifts of generosity can do for people. And I'm not meaning massive in the sense of big dollar. I just mean significance and importance in the lives of these people. Frank's just one example. Those are the kind of turning points that God brings into the lives of people through generosity. Here is another one from a young man who had significant needs that he applied for help, and we were able to send him funds to help with those needs. And he writes, he says, "This is an incredible answer to prayer and such a blessing. I'm overwhelmed with gratitude for you and for your ministry and to our Lord for his faithfulness. It was great speaking with Trevor." Trevor is one of our board members, and he's one of the people who vets the needs and talks to the people who are applying to have their needs met. He says, "It was great speaking with Trevor. I felt uplifted and supported through him just listening to what my girls and I have been going through and knowing that he's praying for us." My friends, isn't that wonderful? That the simple act of listening to someone in need and considering how can we come alongside this person is such a powerful, impacting thing. This young man is also one who submitted a prayer request, and he said, "I wanted to say thank you for praying for me several weeks back on the show. It's all meant so much to me. I faced despair trying to carry on with all this by myself, and then God has shown me, with moments like this, what is possible when I trust in him to provide." Friends, do you hear that? This young man's faith was built up and encouraged because God used generous donors to meet his need at a time when he was so down, facing despair. Those are the pivotal turning moments that we are praying Not a Needy Person will continue to facilitate in the lives of believers all around the world. Friends, I hope these stories are encouraging to you. I hope that you see and understand that this is not about getting or giving money. This is about what this last testimonial stated. Amazing things are possible when we trust in God to provide, and people's faith is built up as a result. Thank you for being generous if you've been one who's given to Not a Needy Person. I know so many people have expressed their desire to thank the people who have given to them in person, and it's just not practical to facilitate that because so many people give to meet these needs one at a time. I hope if you're one who has donated to the platform, you can accept my heartfelt thanks on behalf of all these people who have received benefits from your generosity. And if you're interested in finding out more about Not a Needy Person and how it works, you can go to notaneedyperson.org and see the whole thing right there. Thank you, friends. I wish you God's greatest blessing